Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing pack 9 of the Agora Models release, a build, the LaFerrari. Now what you see here is what it's going to look like at the end of this pack. To be honest with you, I've been putting this pack off. I'll be honest, I'll put my hands up in the air, mainly because I've had a load of emails regarding this pack, and I looked at the instructions myself and I thought this is going to be a really difficult build. Well, you'd be pleased to know I didn't really have any issues at all with this, so I'm hoping this video, if you are struggling with this stage, is going to help you out putting things into the right place. But if you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description here, and there's also a QR code on the screen, and you can get this all the way from pack 1. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So we're going to start this pack at stage 65, where we're going to be finishing off the other door. So I'm going to get everything out. And just to remind you, this is the door that we hadn't finished from the last pack. First thing to do is take this little hinge joint. I'm going to put this into place with a type AA screw. Now remember, all the screws for this build we got right at the start of the build. So let me find an AA. And there you go, AA screw. And this will be going into this point just here. And it's only just one AA screw I'm putting in. And I am using my PH1 screwdriver to get that nice and tight. So that follows the curve around here. I'm then going to open this interior part up. That's going to be going onto this side of the door. And it's actually just going to go onto the two lugs here. And it's going to be held in with one screw just down the centre there. That's a type Q screw. So quite a big chunky one these ones are. Get that into place here. Excellent. Now I'm going to be piecing together both of these sections now. So this section here is going to be going on top of this section just here. Like that. Just make sure it clips in perfectly. That looks good. That's held in with these silver G screws. Going into metal, so a bit of oil just to help get these in, and I will use my PH1 screwdriver. So 2 here, and just one more on this section just here. Just put that to one side. All I have to do then is open this other bit of headliner here, which looks just like that, this lovely flocked material here. And I'm going to be pushing that into the lugs that I've got in the inside just here. And you heard that clicking. So now the headline is in place. And that is all there is to do in that stage. I have kept this protection film on just to protect those windows. In stage 66 here, as you can see here, we are continuing with that left door. So a few more items there. So once again, got the door here, and I've got the interior door card, which comes in this one. This looks really good. I do like this. Look, check that out. Okay, put this into place. It has got some locating lugs. It's going to sit on just like this. Making sure this top section here pushes into the headlining now. Make sure that's in perfectly all the way around. And it is just a push in. Take the armrest. That's going to be going into the slot down the bottom. And then the other side will be going into the side of the door here. And again, it is just a push in. You heard that clip in there. And finally, we just got an L-shaped panel here, which again is a flocked panel, looking like that. And that's just going to go onto this bottom section just here. Again, pushed in. All of these parts are pushed in. Make sure that's clipped in perfectly. And there we go. That's the interior of the door done. Now we just need to put this onto the car. Now you'll probably see, if I bring this over, in the last stage I already put the left door on. And the way you put these on, I mean, they're not on completely, is you've got a rest just at the top here. And that's going to be for this little tab here. Now, probably best on the top camera, you'd rest that in there eventually. But what you do want to do is take this area here, and I want to slip that onto this point here. So if I do that slowly, you can see that going on, slipping on. Then I'm going to put the top in to that section, and that is how the door is going to fit in there, just like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Now in stage 67 here, it's actually called the circuit board. And we do have this panel here to go on as well, but let me just get the circuit board out. Looks an interesting thing. We don't actually start the stage with this, but I do want to have a look at the circuit board. It has got the wires pre-attached to it by the look of it. Pretty cool, with lots of plugs to put in there. But we can put that to one side. I want to open this roof lining up. So I'm bringing the car over again. You can see it on the top camera, and I am just going to peel off just to these points here and here the protection material I've got on here, just so I can actually insert this headlining in that I've got just here, which is going to go this way round onto this section. You can see how neat that goes in there. Now's a good time to actually put this plastic back. That's going to hold that in place, because I need to turn this upside down to keep this in place. I'm going to have some type P screws ready. And now I really don't want to damage anything here, so I have got my part work upgrade mat up now, so I can turn this upside down. Don't want the doors falling out. So the P screws are going into the rear section, which are these points just down the bottom here. Hopefully one of the cameras can see them. So one there. Again, I'm using my PH1 screwdriver for this. And one on this side. And then for the holes just in the middle here, I need 2 F screws. That's F for Freddy. Going down here. Again, I'm going to hold that just from the underside so I can get that nice and tight. That's 1. And 2. Now in stage 57, we had these 2 sun visors. And it's just a case of pushing these into position here. They are going to hide those screw holes that we just had. So one this side. All flocked again, these are. And one that side. So they're in. So the wires we've got here. Now we've got 1, 2, 3 wires coming from the back. We want them to go towards the front here. And if I just show you on the top camera, we've also got this wire, which is labelled C from the front as well. We're going to be putting the circuit board in place. So I'm just going to unravel the wire here. The big wire that we've got ravelled in is already plugged into point B. So once I've unravelled that, I will plug point A back in. So when you get it, you should already have 2 plugs in, A and B. Okay. So I've moved this slightly down. This is going to fit over these 4 posts just here, like this. Just lining everything up. And it's going to be held in with 4 type I screws. The I screws are these silver ones here. And I'll get all 4 of these in. Matter of fact, it's only held in with 3 screws. I thought it was held in with 4. Now, you will be tempted to actually connect this wire C to port C. They're not asking us to do that yet, so I'm not going to race ahead of myself. I'm going to do exactly what they tell me to do. Now in stage 56, we had this part here, which is the upper cover panel. We're going to be putting this in now. That's just going to go on this back section just here. You want to make sure that that's all in there flush, like that. The other thing to note is this overhead light cable we've got here. We do want to run that over this side as well. So it comes out of this opening here, like that. Make sure that's all pushed in. Now in stage 52, I had this part, which is the upper rear subframe. And I also need 4 of these EE screws. Now these are going to be going onto the points here and on the other side here. So I'm just going to get this side in first. I'll put 1 screw in first on this side. That will hold that into place. You also want to make sure that these have a little tab on these sections here and here. Make sure that they're into that section as well. So then this line here is going to be flush. And I've got that nice and tight. Excellent. So let me just turn that over and show you what that looks like. There you go. That's what it looks like from that side. Now in stage 42, we had two of these uprights here. Just turn this back over. And these uprights are going to be going into the positions here and here. Now they are pushing, but they are recommending, if you wanted to, just to put a bit of glue in here. So I'm just going to see how they fit. They are quite tight, you know, so I don't think I am going to glue these. They're quite rigid, as you can see there. But that is all there is to do in that stage. We actually did quite a fair bit in that stage. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't been looking forward to this. This is stage 68. This looks really hard, but I'm going to get to the bottom of it and we'll sort it out. I think the first thing to do when I have hard bits, look, we've got some more screws here, some GG screws this time. We have got some little bits here, is open everything up. Now to keep the doors straight and to stop them opening, I'm just putting some masking tape on these. Turn this over. And I'm looking at this steering rack here, and we just need to make sure that these teeth are pointing upwards. Let me show you on the close-up camera in this gap here. Now, when I originally did this, I made sure that that was like that anyway. So that's in position exactly as it needs to be there. So, show you on the side camera. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these rods and put it down the piston that you can see just here. And then the other side of this is going on to that point just there like that. That's going to be held in with a type N screw. This is a flange screw. That will keep this into place. And I want to do exactly the same on the other side. So once again, it's just going to go down the shaft here, over the hole, and an N screw. Now we had some brackets in this one. These are motor brackets. If you have a look right at the front here, and again, probably on the top camera, we've got some locating lugs here for these to go in. So one's going to go in here. Let me just push that onto the lug, like that. And the other one's going to go on the other side, the one that's looking like this, into that position there. So these are held in with G screws. And I have put these in a little bit of oil to help get these in. Excellent, that's nice and tight. Do the same on the other side. For the motors to sit right, you do really need to make sure that these are in tight. Now the next stage is going to seem a little bit strange. I'm going to be taking the steering and the dashboard here, and I need to remove this steering rod that I've got just in the back here. So that's just a case of wiggling and getting this out. I'd love to tell you how easy that was, but that really wasn't easy at all. But as you can see, I did manage to get it out. Now making sure that the wheels are straight and that the cog in the middle there, or the gear, is at top dead center. I want to put this into position, making sure it's facing towards the passenger side. The flat end here will be towards the passenger side, just there. Now I need to lock that into place with a bracket just over this section here. Now in stage 52, I had this guard detail looking like that. Let me just get this open. What I want to do is make sure the wheels are straight. So I'm just going to straighten them up here. That looks good. Make sure that the teeth here of the gear is top dead center. And then I'm going to take the steering shaft with a flat side pointed towards the passenger side, which is this side here. I'm then going to be putting this clamp just over the top, this bracket should I say, and it's held in with type G screws. So just put it in loosely so I can just make sure that that flat side is pointing in that direction. get these screws in, and that's going to hold this into place. And you do want to make sure this is really tight to engage these two together so that those teeth can't come apart. And there we go. That's in perfectly just like that. Now I'm in a position of putting these motors in. Now the doors are shut. I've ensured that. What you've got here are left and right motors. So this one I've got here is the left one. It's going on this side. The part that's going to be engaging in this gear here, just so you know, is actually the gear right there, not this big one here, the gear there. So when you put it in and line it up, you can pretty much see how this is going to engage just like that. I'm also pressing the door really tight in here, so when it's in, it's going to be held tight. Now once again, I want to put these in with 4 G screws. Now I've put these screws in oil. Once again, you really do want this in tight. And I haven't let up by squeezing this door into the panel here, so that's perfectly closed. So that's that motor in. Now this door shouldn't be able to open now on its own. As you see, I've taken the masking tape off and I'm just going like this with my finger. It can't open because it's locked into that motor there. I'm going to do the same on the other side. This one's a little bit trickier to push in because you've got a limiter switch on this, but it still does go in exactly like the last one. G screws. The limiter switch is going to the outside of that silver gear of the door. And there we go, that's both the motors in. We've got a couple of cables coming from this motor here, just one cable coming from this motor here, but that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 69 here, let me just open this one. I've got the rear left fender. And I need to take detail A, which came in stage 46, looking just like this. And that's going to be pushed into these 2 holes just here. So line it up, you've got a large lug and a small lug, and it's just a case of pushing them together. Clips in like that. Then we've got detail B, which is going to go on this flat section here. It's just a case of lining that up and pushing that in. That'll hold itself like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 70, we've got the right rear fender now. Let's get this open. And once again, we've got another detail A looking like this. Mirrors exactly what we've just done, to be honest with you. So this one's going to go in here, and the shape of the lugs will dictate which way round it goes because you've got small lugs and big lugs, you see. So that's in from that side, looking like that. We haven't got another detail to put in though, because again, that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 71, God, we're getting on with this, aren't we? Got quite a few little tiny bits in this one. And something we haven't seen for a long while, check this out. We need the nose assembly. So, it's going to be taking these hoses out the bag first. And it's just a case of putting these hoses on these points here. Now, they are stamped just there with an R. So this is the right hand side one. This is going to go on this side here. Just get that nice and flush in there. You'll see how well it holds, which means the left side one is just going to go on this side over here. So they're in place like that. Put that to one side and bring over the car again. And the first bit of frame I need looks just like this. Now this one has got a little cross member just down there, as you can see. The one on the other side doesn't have that. So this is the one I want first. I'm going to be screwing this into the front just here on these 2 holes. And I'm going to be doing that with 2 type J screws first. Get these in nice and tight. I also need 1 type A screw, just 1 screw here. And that's basically just going through the frame to attach it just on this side here. Very difficult to show you, but trust me, that's going in. So, there we go, nice and sturdy in place. Do the same on the other side with the one that we have left over. So again, this is going to be held with J screws at the front and an A screw just through the middle there. And now that's in place, we can actually put the nose assembly on So making sure this lines up, putting the pipes here through the frame. So they come out the other side. And then the top is just going to go over these points just here, because they're going to be held in with 2 end screws into these points here. So let me get the screws out. Now the end screws are flange screws. This is going to take a little bit of manipulation, I reckon. There we go. I've got one side lined up perfectly here. So I'll get a screw lightly in here. Work on the other side. Perfect. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, actually. And then get this in nice and tight. Excellent. That is all there is to do in that stage. So the last stage of this pack is the front wheel arch, and I'm not actually going to open it because we don't actually do any assembly in this. So that is all there is to do in that pack. You know what, that was nowhere near as hard as I thought it would be, but as you can see, we've got the doors on, the motors in, and we've put the front end on as well, and it does look really good. Now we've only got stages 10 or pack 10, 11 and 12 to go, only 3 more packs. But if you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link for the Agora Models website down there. You can get this all the way from pack 1, but I really hope you like this video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.